Hello you guys, and welcome back to another video. This is going to be setting up my March journal. And so basically, if you're new here, welcome. And just to kind of give you a little background, this year I had decided to go with a smaller version. So this past year, let me back up a little bit. So in 2021, I used, in the kind of the end of 2020, I started using a composition book for my journaling. I absolutely loved it. Lots of space. You can tell that there's some days that, you know, I wrote down things, a lot of times decorating, adding all the ephemera, just different things in here. And so, but for 2022, I had decided to go with like a smaller version, and then I kind of have an overflow journal that I put more like this is like the day-to-day, and then I have my like more intense journaling, not intense journaling, but like more personal journaling if I wanted to go into more depth about things. I have that journal. So basically, I started doing this, and I really have enjoyed this journal. In fact, I'm almost done with this because I took this into January and February. But one evening, as I was sitting here looking through it, and it was getting so thick, and I had it actually for 6 months, and I thought, there's no way that this journal is going to survive 6 months because it's already so fluffy. So at 10:30 at night, which I should not have done this, but I decided to cut out my journal, cut out March and April, March through June, right? And I put some book binding tape on here. It's not the prettiest, but it definitely holds it together, which is nice. And I'm going to finish this out. Well, as I was getting the inside pages and trying to find another source of a cover, I don't know. I ended up not wanting to do it at all anymore. And so I decided to go back to doing my everyday journaling in a composition book. And I'm very excited. It's not that it's a bad thing or that I feel defeated or anything like that. I'm actually really looking forward to having a lot more space. I love the feel of this. When I pulled out my other journals, let me get this other one here. It just feels good. I love it. You can get it really fluffy. I don't know. I'm just really, really loving this. And plus, if you're like me, I like to add. I'm more of like a junk journaler too, so I like to put in all different types of tip-ins and things like that. I guess this isn't necessarily a junk journal because it all is just one pages in here, but the one that I was looking at also had I had put different pages in there. My Christmas one, I guess, I had added more scrapbooking pages and added those in there. So yeah, so I'm excited about going back to this size, and yeah, and I'm also getting excited because I get to do a new journal. You know, I kind of like starting new journals at the beginning of the month, and typically a composition book lasts me about a month and a half, not quite a month and a half, maybe a month and a week. I got to where it was having it for a month, but I'm really flexible. I'm not trying to say that, oh, it has to be 1 month, has to go on this. I kind of fluctuate there, and it gives me a little bit more room to play with. So here we are, we're back. And I've been prepping this book. I basically took out 7 sheets. I followed this on one of the ladies. Her last name is Sullivan, Melanie Sullivan, I believe. She takes out 7 pages just to kind of not make it as fluffy, and then I've already I glue these two pages together in each one, so it kind of gives it a little bit more stability, because I know in composition books they can be really thin. So I've already done that, so I thought what I would do is just decorate getting ready for March, because it will be here before we know it. So this is the March girl for this, the BBG girl. I do a sticker set. It's called Big Brave Girl, and what they mean by Big Brave Girl is they're a bigger sticker, and I usually do like more of a fuller girl. I'll show you real quick. Here was January's girl, and then I don't know if I have March in here or not. Looks like that's all of January. I did see last year's March in this one. But basically the sticker set comes with a girl. Oh, there's March, last year's March. So it comes with a girl sticker, and then I have like the holidays, and then numbers that I use, and the days of the week. So that's kind of what the sticker set comes in. And if you're interested, it's available on my website. And I actually have all the ones listed from past months as well. So so they're available. And then I printed out, this is a piece of my art, and I just went ahead and printed it out because I'm going to actually put it on the front cover. And then we're going to just kind of, I want to be able to create a pocket, because one of the things that I love so much about the way I was journaling prior is I would pre-decorate all my pages, because I would do a page a day. Well, in the composition book, one of the things that I liked about it last year was that I created a flexibility to where if I had 2 days, especially if I get a flyer or something like that from my daughter being in an activity, or anything like that, or multiple pictures, then I can use 2 pages. I'm not going to I guess I could use my other journal, but I kind of want some flexibility, which I could have had that in the other one. Although, if you watch my prior video, I kind of repurposed a journal, a old 2016 diary, and that was where that kind of that came from. So I literally was only dedicating my a page per day, and this isn't exactly even, but I'm okay with that. So yeah, so I was kind of dedicating 1 day per per page, and this way I'm going to kind of leave it open and flexibility. And so that's why I'm kind of creating a pocket, because I have a tendency to lose my numbers somehow in the midst of somehow in the midst of it all, I lose my numbers. So I just picked 2 little random sheets of cardstock, and what I'm going to do is, like I did in the January, I'm going to put the girl on this side, and then I'm going to create a pocket here. So I'm just trying to get an idea. I wonder if yellow on yellow would be too much, or if I should do a green. I'm thinking I'll do the green. I think the yellow on yellow is a bit much, even though, as you can tell, I'm loving yellow right now for, I got my nail. I think it's because it's starting to feel a little bit like spring, even though, you guys, this weather here has just been crazy. And I mean, it's basically, so yesterday was about 80 degrees, sweaty, hot, humid. I live where it gets humid. Alright, so I had a little disruption, so I have no idea where I left off. I know I was gluing this page down. So I'm going to go ahead and make a pocket here, and we'll go ahead and get that going. And so the reason I want to have a pocket in the front is, as I mentioned earlier, I have a tendency to lose my numbers and my days of the week. I used to keep them in a binder, and that seemed to be the easiest thing, but then now if I take this with me, I don't want to have to take the big binder as well. So I'm just going to make a pocket here, and I'm going to put on this pocket the calendar. And I think these are actually from a calendar that I ordered from Amazon. It's my favorite artist, Susan Branch and Arthur, and I know I hate covering up her beautiful artwork, but I bought this particular calendar just for this reason. So I'm going to use it for that. And I know I could print one off of you know, they have free printable calendars, but I love her artwork. I love the little bits and pieces of her art that she has on here. And so I want to use it. So I'm just going to kind of measure out this page here. Oh. Just to kind of get an idea. Oops. Of where to cut. For a straighter edge, I would use my paper cutter, but I'm going to be covering the edging up with washi tape, so I think it'll work out just fine. And then I can also, if there's like some stickers or some things that I want to use as well, I can add these to this pocket too. So I'm just going to add the edging. And like I said, I'm going to come back in here with some washi and add some washi tape too. Cover this up. Got glitter on my desk that's getting on here, which is perfectly fine with me. And one of the reasons too that I also like the bigger composition book is because I can use up more of my scrapbook paper, and I love pretty paper, and I love adding it to my my journaling pages, and so this gives me an opportunity to use up some of the bigger pieces and add those pretty papers to my journal. Okay, so there we have it. And this is like a little pocket. Of course, I don't want to pull it up yet because the glue is still wet. But I am going to come in here and use some washi tape. So I pulled out my floral one. I love this larger washi tape here. I got this from Little Craft Place in Houston. And it works out great, especially if you're doing like your seams and things like that, because it's really wide. It covers all the bases. I think what I'm going to do is cut it, because I am going to be adding a book binding paper. I'm just going to put that there, so that way it kind of secures it and it doesn't come undone on the edges. I've gotten to where sometimes I even glue my washi down on certain areas because that way it doesn't come undone. When I was looking at some of my composition book, I guess I had taken one apart, or I don't know what I did with it, to be honest with you, and I noticed that the washi is coming undone, so I need to go in and repair that particular journal. Whoops. One thing about spring and summer is you get to use all the floral washi. Not that you can't, but I have a tendency to use it all year. Not that you can't use it all year, but I'm a seasonal girl, and so I have a tendency to want to use flowers in the spring and summer. But like I said, I am not a person that loves the heat at all, and being in Texas is not, I think that's what I was talking about, is that how humid it gets here. I think it's because we live, it used to not be, Texas is pretty humid where I live anyway. I know it's more humid on the coastal line, but where we live at now is a little bit closer to that coastal line. But, oops, pulling on the washi, making a mess. Okay, so I think I'm going to do a different, another floral, just to hold that edging in. Okay, oops. Alright. Okay, so I'm feeling better about my pocket being a little bit more secure, and like I said, I'll bind that, we'll bind that edging in just a moment. So what I would do at this point is cut my numbers out. I'm going to cut off this excess paper. And then just cut down the middle here and tuck it in. Ta-da! Now I can't lose it. At least I can, I mean, I could lose it. But it makes it better having it tucked away up front. I'm just going to cut these edges off here. And this may actually be a little too tall. Let's see here. Yep. That way I just have them accessible. I definitely could keep them in a folder. I know I keep a lot of my other printables, but for these I do like to have them because I still plan on, even though I'm moving into a bigger one, and I plan on having more, being able to use more. If I needed to use 2 pages, I can. But most of the time, if you have, unless I'm doing like a major function, I only need 1 page. So maybe a weekend I would do a double spread, but during the week, when not a whole lot, especially when I'm just working and things like that, or not a whole lot's going on, then I would just need 1 page. Okay, so I am going to secure, oh, this cover is not staying down. I didn't put enough glue here. So, but I'm going to actually seal in, I'm going to seal this cover down with some packing tape. And then it'll secure that page on there as well. So what I'm going to do is put my girl in here. You know, this, actually I have March, so what I might do is use this as a background. So I'm going to save this over here. But I'm going to put some of these. That green really does not show up. I'm going to get my little fairy, because you got to have a little fairy. There we go. Okay, and then what I probably will do is cut this as well, and use these throughout the journal. Let's cut that extra off of there. And that way I have those stickers I can use throughout the month. And I find I'd have these available. Oops. Okay. Let's go ahead and just put these little guys down. I'll have to go over that with a pen so I can see. I wonder if this color will show up. Let's do more of a brown. There. And we can always add some polka dots on here to make it look a little less, to me, not filled, not complete. And then also, I mean, it's pretty much open, other than the fact that I am going to add some packing tape. But before I do that, let's add this along the seams. This is bookbinding tape, and I like to do this too because last year I did olive red, and I thought about changing it up this year. I think I had talked about it in one of the videos about putting brown, and I'm like, oh, brown is not my color, at least not in my journals. And so I opted to just go with red again, and I write the dates on here. And I can keep this open. I can decorate the back cover, or I can just leave it just as is. And what I like about having it already done, I can start adding color to my backgrounds. I can add some trim to make it fun. So it's really, at this point, I'm really wanting to get it completed as far as having it so I can start playing in it. And I think what I'm going to do, since I keep having these little stars, I think I'm going to put some, actually I have these stars on my desk here. I'm going to just add a few on here, like so. Gotta have some sparkle. And then I'm going to use some clear packing tape to seal the deal. It's going to be loud, you guys. And I like having this because it's a protectant, so when I throw it in my bag, I'm not worrying about it as much, getting the paper, the cover messed up and everything. Whoops, I cut that one too short. I'm going to go ahead and put another one on the outside here, just so I can loop it around and cover that. Okay, here we go. Oops. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the edge here. And just flip it over. And I can always come back in here and add the, what do you call, cover this whole thing up, but I'm not going to do that just yet. In fact, I can leave it open. I'm not worried about this getting, let me do something really quick here. I'm not worried about it getting messed up on the inside. Look at all those pretty sparkles that are going to be missing. We don't want to waste any sparkles, right? But that way we can, if I want to add stickers or anything else, I can later on. Fold this over like that. This side I kind of like messed up on, but not to worry. Bring it around and seal it right there. It was kind of doubled up. And there I have it, you guys. It's ready to go. And that way if I want to come in here and do some more plain or anything like that, I can. I have that ready. And we're ready to go. And I can even like go ahead and so that way it won't keep popping up. Let's go ahead and add some washi down the middle here. Let's see here. Let's do this for March 1st. Alright, we got washi down the middle. We are ready to go. And actually, I'm going to be playing this whole weekend. I'm going to do a getaway weekend. And I can fill this out. And I can have my journal to start adding background, watercolor background to. I can add washi to the sides. So I'm ready to go. I'm so excited. Alright, you guys. Thanks for watching. And I will see you in my next video.